Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
So we are back from our first adventure into the depths of Manhattan, and we are all properly bathed now, and hence we are now ready to talk about our experience from today and maybe also a bit from yesterday. And I'm gonna sneeze now. Okay, no.
We're having, if you guys are wondering, we are currently having halal guys. You're probably gonna watch a snippet of a video before this, whereby we ate halal guys. We didn't finish that halal guys
Nope,
because it was cold. It was cold as toots because I could not feel my toes, and I was just like, okay, let's move it, let's go, we need to go.
Yeah, it was.
I was being sassy about it.
It was kind of a bad idea trying to eat in the freezing cold. So because we thought or at least I thought it's going to be okay, since before this in Japan there was one night we actually waited outside the restaurant for around 2 to 3 hours. It was not a pleasant wait, but still it didn't feel like we're going to die outside. Little did I know that a difference of 10 degrees in temperature is going to affect not your mood but your ability to survive. It was kind of hard to enjoy the food. Okay,
it was not kind of hard.
Yeah,
it is hard to enjoy the food because it was super cold. The food is actually steaming hot. But the fact that we can straight away eat it, like we can just gobble it up the first few bites, goes to show that was how cold it was, and we cannot feel anything. We're not eating to savor, we're eating for warmth.
To survive, we are eating to
survive. Which was not funny. Yeah, and prior to that also we were walking for like ages. We were walking for how many blocks?
15.
We walked for 15 blocks.
At least 15, yeah. That means we were walking from one street to another.
Which is equivalent to 2 stations.
Yeah.
Which is not funny because it was super cold and there were a lot of people, and yeah.
Yeah, we started on, I think,
we adventurous gila guys. Kita adventurous.
Yeah, we started on 35th Street and we walked all the way to 53rd or 52nd Street, I can't remember, to find the halal guys. So on the map it doesn't look that far actually. On the map it doesn't look that far, but when you walk, I guess the temperature made it worse, the human traffic made it worse. I think
our hunger made it worse.
Yes, and that too. And I think on top of all that, the human traffic at particular streets, I think there was one just outside. There were 2. The first one was just outside Radio City Hall.
Oh, Radio City Hall.
Radio City Hall. It is the place where I think it's iconic because of the Godfather show, which is supposedly behind here, but I don't think you can see. Yeah. So
he likes to be subtle like that.
yeah. So, and the worst thing is we don't know why it was so congested. Really, we've been to Shibuya. We did the Shibuya crossing. We've been to Geylang. We've been to Geylang during Hari Raya. Yeah, let's just be clear on that.
You think that Geylang during Hari Raya is like that, and you're like right? Especially me, I don't like being touched. I'm just like No, this one is just like
So what's like that, man? Like that.
like what? People were just like jostling and be like, one person's mouth was like right here.
No. And we were going in a bajillion directions.
Yeah, and like my germophobia was like really rabak at that one, because I was like, oh my god, I don't know if you guys bathed. I don't care. It's like everybody's just like, what?
I was not afraid of the germs. I was more afraid of being pickpocketed at the
And that too, so I was like hugging my bag for dear life, and then Zahir is just like that, and like we were just like that. And I was like, I don't want to lose my husband. I don't want to get shaved. I don't want my husband to get shaved. I was like, oh my god.
There were 1 or 2 who were not happy.
The older ones.
Because I saw 1 or 2 of them complaining to the policeman, and the policeman was like, yes ma'am, yes, we are trying to work things out. But it was a very, very sarcastic, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. It's like, what you want us to do? I mean, the thing is, I do not know what was the problem actually. Apart from me making an assumption that there was probably a show going on at the Radio City Hall area.
Which there was.
It should be, I don't know about what I do. Could have been
So yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah, so now here we are. We microwave this Halal Guys food.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't finish it there because now I can probably savor it. And although it's not as piping hot as it was, it's still sedap.
Yeah, basically I want to eat nice food.
I think the secret is the sauce. The white sauce, not the red sauce. I don't know for me I don't think the red sauce is necessary. It's just a bit. Oh my god, it's so bloody spicy.
Yes, basically Halal Guys cost about
22. We bought 3 things.
Each of these
8
USD. The burrito wrap is 6 USD.
Yeah.
No funny taxation or anything like that. It's just straight up what it is. What it is. There's a queue, but they're pretty fast.
Yeah.
And no fuss, no fuss, no mess, no nothing. Just like, what do you want? Pay the money first. Get the food. Out you go. However, when we went to Starbucks, what made up for it is a really awesome gingerbread latte. And I changed my name to Ria. Thanks, Starbucks.
Ria Warna.
My name is Ria. I said Rin, I spell it R-I-N, but it's okay.
But in hindsight now, on hindsight now, the Starbucks was actually quite dirty. In fact, it was very dirty. There were pieces of tissue paper strewn everywhere. Everywhere. It reminded me of a toilet.
And come to think of it, I think in times like this, right, the priority is not to be clean. Like for them, it's not about a clean store, it's about serving. Because the waiting time wasn't long. They were pretty quick about it lah, to be fair. And the drink was nice. It wasn't diluted or badly made. So yeah.
It was okay lah for me. It felt like caramel macchiato.
And I find it like comforting to know that they're not the kind to like halau people out, because they were just like, you know, whatever, people come in, people go out, people want to stay a long time, people don't want to stay a long time, people want to make it like their own house. Okay, yeah.
Thank God we waited lah. Thank God we waited, because at the airport there was an option to buy SIM card at the airport. But unfortunately, there was very limited options there. I just wanted SIM cards that provide us with data. But she was selling SIM cards that was prepaid, that had the option to call and so on and so forth, like a proper phone. So she was trying to push for that, and when we asked for the one that only provided us with data, she looks like she didn't want to serve us anymore lah. So that was a bit disappointing. And after that, luckily we did our own research beforehand, so we know that T-Mobile.
Credit to him actually.
Thank you.
No, really.
Yeah, so if you guys want to travel to the States, find T-Mobile. Okay, T-Mobile is from what I find out, it has the best deal for tourists like us, and it also has the best coverage if you happen to travel in areas that are populated. If you're going to the rural areas, I don't think it's T-Mobile, maybe it's AT&T, I'm not sure, but it's definitely not T-Mobile. But I'm assuming all of us tourists, we are going to be in populated areas, so get T-Mobile, tell them exactly what you want, and they will tell you the options that are available. So the girl that we met, her name was
Annette.
Annette.
It's the T-Mobile branch at Nostrand. Nostrand.
No.
Yeah. When you first enter the store, you kind of don't know what to expect, because like there is like no line, no nothing. It's like an Apple store, like it's a concept, you know, whereby it's just a table with like all the devices and phones, and then you're not sure like, where do I go, where's the cashier? But the thing I've realized about America is that their NETS machine, or their payment machine, is all those movable ones. There's no like cable, it's not tied down to anything. So they are literally carrying that in their pockets. Spot the person who, if you don't know what's their uniform, the person with like a belt with all the little devices on them. That's the person. So when we entered, first of all, we're taken aback because English wise, we're trying to like get a hang of the slang. So you have to talk slowly.
Amazed, or yeah, I think the word will be amazed lah. For the fact that we were having a conversation with an African American. Spoken to white people before, we've spoken to a lot of different kind of people, but we've never spoken to an African American person before properly.
We are trying our best not to offend anyone while telling our story, okay? So if anyone feels offended, we apologize. It's like the major disclaimer because we ourselves don't know how. Yeah.
I just find it, I enjoy it. I enjoy being in that conversation because I've always wanted to speak to a proper African American.
We just wanted to be casual about it, and it was not intimidating. I think there is a barrier. Shall we be honest here?
Yeah, just cut it after that. Let's see. Let's see.
Coming to America, we did find it a bit intimidating and scary when we see people of colour, of that sense. I mean, we are coloured too in that sense, but you know, you get what I mean. We were intimidated because it is our first time being surrounded by really a lot of diversity. Like legit, there's so many and you can't tell who is who and what is what, or what language, or what's your original, or whatever. Essentially, they're all Americans. So when we're actually in that close proximity and getting serviced by someone of colour, I guess, African American, I had a small fear. I didn't know how to properly react or respond in case I offend someone. Not that I have issues with them, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't know what would trigger wrong thing, and social media doesn't help with that. So our experience was surprisingly chill. I
think prior to coming, I mean, if you were living in Singapore, I mean, when I was living in Singapore, when people say you know, when there's this like prejudice against the African Americans, that they look scary, that they might want to harm you or that kind of thing. I think back then, as in when we were in Singapore, or at least when I was in Singapore, it didn't feel like that was going to be true. I mean, I love black culture. I love listening to hip hop. So
he loves it.
Yeah,
he lives and breathes that stuff.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to intimidate me in any shape or form lah. I mean, I know that culture.
He says I have an Oprah Winfrey in me.
Yeah.
You don't know him.
So, but unfortunately, when I was here, suddenly, subconsciously, I have to admit, I think the stereotype, the prejudice starts to kick in. You know, and
we've been educated not to. We've been educated to know that it is beyond that.
Subconsciously, I also know that this is wrong, but I felt scared at certain times. Doesn't help that sometimes I feel their stare looks quite intense. I don't know, man. I don't know. It feels intense. It feels intense.
So by the way, we got this at H&M today together with gloves.
And the scarf on me.
The hat.
The hat, whatever.
He called me ridiculous essentially when I first tried it on. He was like, "What is wrong with you?" And now look who's enjoying it.
I've got the rabbit's butt on the head. This is America. Look at what I'm wearing. I'm so handsome. This is America.
Let's talk about
the metro system.
The train system, which we experienced for the first time today. Okay, let's start from purchase of Metro card first. What are your thoughts on that?
I thought it was very, very simple. Simple process. I'm gonna make a lot of comparison with Japan simply because
Singapore,
simply because these are the only two other train systems that are worth talking about. Although we have visited many other countries. But yeah, I thought it was very, very simple. Simply because it was in English. I think in Singapore it's also quite easy. In fact, in Singapore you just have to go to the counter, say you want a EZ-Link card, and they give you an EZ-Link card. No need to press button, just need to use your mouth. In Japan, I do not know whether you can approach. No, I don't think so. You have to buy
from the machine. But the machine has it in so many languages.
And it can be a bit confusing. Lah. But the US one was very easy to get. So and it works a bit differently from Japan in terms of the value. So here you can buy for a period of time free. So there's, I think, 7 days, 30 days. Yeah, 7 days and 30 days. In Japan, and like in Singapore, we can only top up. Right? It works on a top up basis.
So tourist or not, you function the same way as a local lah. But in the US, they offer a 7-day. But the locals, I'm very sure they do. Do they even top up? I guess they do top up.
Probably.
They probably do. Yes, I also found the system quite simple. It was very straightforward. Use cash. Can't use card because if you're not a local, the card is apparently has to be linked to your address, which we don't have an address or phone number, right?
As in, you can pay by credit card. You just have to key in your postal code as 9999.
Which we didn't even want to bother with it.
Because we really withdraw money for
money. So yeah, we don't stick to a budget. So we used cash to pay for our metro passes.
And if you want to use cash, I mean, when you use cash, please take note that the machine can only dispense change in the form of $1 coin. Okay, and it cannot dispense more than $9.
Why? I don't know.
I'm not sure why. So this is what we read in our research. So don't put in $100 bill.
No, I don't even think they can. No, they can't take that in. There's a list of numbers at the side. The currency,
the denomination,
the currency, the denomination, and that's what you can deal with lah.
Yep. Then in terms of managing the in terms of figuring out which line to take, I thought it was quite straightforward.
It can be more straightforward in my opinion.
I think Singapore's one is the most straightforward lah. Not because we live there. It's just so much simpler.
Okay, we can't use Singapore as an example because Singapore is a small island. It's like east to west, north to south. That's it, and circle line. And intersections is just one intersection, to how many lines, that's it. But for here, their one line can run additional 2 ways, right?
Okay, we don't have as much number of train stations as them, but our numbers are not that small either. It's just that we managed to simplify it into just 4 basic lines, I think 4 or 5. North south, east west, circle line, downtown line. Yeah, only 4.
It is well thought of. For Singapore's case, it is a well thought of train system. The network is very well thought of. Like, where do you really need a train station?
And it's very clear that you can only switch from one line to another at certain points, certain train stations. Like
if the tracks cross, there is most likely when the tracks do cross in Singapore, there will definitely be an intersection. But here, if you see the lines cross, not necessarily you can just like transfer, No, it just like goes.
Yeah, there's no such thing as this line is going to be operating only at certain times of the day or on certain days. In Singapore, it's if the train station is, as in if it's time
all runs at the same time, ends at the same time.
Yes,
that's
correct.
it.
Yes.
That's it. Unless there's a train delay or like let's say it's New Year's Eve, special National Day, then they will extend the timing and stuff. But other than that, nope.
But those exceptions are few and far between. And in Japan, I think it is
the only obstacle is maybe the language at the start. Yeah, and the numbering system, the way they number the station, you kind of like let's say Ochiai, Minami, Nagasaki, and then the number of that station, you will see 2 different colors, but they share the same number. Like here, they go by only recognize. There's no number at each train station, none. But there is a
every line has their own numbers
color
or
and
alphabet.
alphabet.
Yeah. And every line has their own timer to operate. But since it was in English, it was manageable, and plus we've been using this app, which is quite useful lah.
And we will insert the app details here somewhere.
I think
You can use it in all cities. We've used it in, so far, Tokyo. I've tried it in Singapore, and there's also
Kyoto.
Osaka probably can also.
Yeah, we've tried it in New York. Let's try it in Singapore. It provides you with one route which it considers the best route to go lah. Of course, there are many other ways to go around it, but if you don't want to think, you just follow, you will get there. But we've gotten used to it, so we know how to use the app even better.
Girl, let me tell you, I is a germaphobe.
Yeah.
I cannot. It drives me nuts actually. That was the most disappointing thing, despite me already knowing that in Western movies, the subway is like a, dark, underground kind of place. Somehow in my mind, I was thinking maybe it's exaggerated, but no. What you see in the movies, the subway line, it is what it is.
Yeah, you will see puddles, you'll see garbage,
You'll even see vomit stains on the walls, which is why it drives me nuts, because I'm like, oh my god, did nobody try to get rid of that stain?
Okay, but there was no funky smell lah.
Because it's cold.
All the more, right? It will smell.
No, when it's cold, there's no scent. Same like Japan, no scent. But when there's heat, I can imagine the smell just whoop.
I don't know, but there was no smell lah.
Yeah, there was no smell, but visually, you can see where somebody has vomited before and where somebody just accidentally spilled coffee, and the fact that somebody spilled coffee and nobody cleaned up like that. Yeah.
On the train platform, on the train track, in the train, everywhere I have.
The windows were not clean.
It was dusty.
I
mean, yeah lah, it sounds like we're nitpicking lah, but if you want to make a comparison, this is the truth lah.
This is the truth, this is where I'm just gonna say that that's why there are rules for a reason. Okay, in Singapore there are so many rules. No eating in the train, no bringing of durians, no, what else?
Do not spray graffiti on trains.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, I'm just gonna say once and for all there is a reason why you don't spray graffiti on trains.
On any building.
It is not expressing your beliefs, it's not expressing your freedom, your creativity. That is a bunch of nonsense. It makes your city look ugly because it is out of place.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Don't tell me it's about character. Go to Japan.
There's a place for art.
See.
Essentially, there's a place for arts. I don't care if you're I'm gonna say this. Even if you're Banksy, okay, unless you are Banksy, we talk. But you are not Banksy. You wanna, get creative, experimental. Not on the city. Not where taxpayers' monies go. All the more I appreciate how Singapore runs. Cannot. Just cannot.
No, because that means
Japan also.
That means there are no rules. Anything can go.
You can get away with it, essentially.
You can put nice art on it. That means ugly art also can get on it too, because there are no rules.
Yeah, freedom of expression and all that. So
I can't live in that I can't live in that kind of.
It says a lot about a city. So, or maybe we're very used to this sanitized cleanliness. Yeah, people can say and make that sound like a negative thing, but I like sanitized and cleanliness. It gives me this feeling of pride and cleanliness in my country. But it is part of the culture in America. You guys do you, but I'm just saying we are used to that. And rules and regulations are there for a reason. We can't keep saying that we are too strict. We have to be strict unless you want to live in a world of freedom of expression.
Chaos.
Yeah. Not everyone understands that freedom of expression. Some people are just angsty and they're like writing profanities on the wall. That can be freedom of expression too, but that's not something you want to see every day.
To be fair, I didn't see any profanities on the wall.
Yeah, but
actually.
as an example, different people and different maturity. If you're really an artsy-fartsy person and you spray on the walls, I can appreciate it. But